Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another Tech to Elevate webinar. We're glad you can make us, whether you're watching it live or watching through our YouTube channel, where hopefully you can see a whole list of all of our other videos. All of these will be on YouTube for you guys to find through Tech to Elevate. And we're really glad to be able to provide that service. I'll be hosting today, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to drop those, and I'll make sure to get those to our presenter, Brandon, today. I'll be your host, Ben Gallegos. And when you have Brandon presenting, a great thing about NorthStar Digital Literacy, one of our partners that really provides a great service. So hopefully this will be a great introduction to NorthStar, maybe to Tech to Elevate, and kind of just getting into the technology world. So Brandon.
Sure. Like Ben said, my name's Brandon. I'm going to be talking about NorthStar Digital Literacy today. They're an organization based out of Minneapolis, and they provide nonprofits like us with a lot of kind of curriculum and ways to build people's digital skills. And so I'm just going to kind of walk you through a little bit of what that looks like, whether by yourself or if you come into one of our locations, and we can help you with some of the assessments and kind of figure out what you're doing. So NorthStar, they break up essential computer skills into, that's one of their categories, is essential computer skills. That includes basic computer skills, internet basics using email, Windows, and Mac. Mac is Apple. They also have essential software skills, which is Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Google Docs. These are all different assessments and sets of curriculum that they have. And then they also have a section called Using Technology in Daily Life, which includes social media, information literacy, career search skills, telehealth appointments, digital learning, and getting to know your digital footprint. And so all of these things, I'll show you this here in a minute, but it'll have an assessment that you take. And then if you take it at one of our locations, we're able to see your score, and we can kind of go through it with you and see what you need to work on. So yeah, like I said, features, they have their assessments that I just talked about. They have a locations tab I can show you on the website that shows you everywhere in your area that is a NorthStar partner and can help you with some of these assessments and lessons. Like I said, if you take it with us, we can see your scores and kind of go through how you did. And it'll also tell you your areas of success or areas where you might need more help. And we can kind of make note of that and work on those things with you, whatever you might need help with. So I'm going to go ahead and open up NorthStar. I'll share my screen here. So this is what the page looks like. All you'll do is just Google NorthStar Digital Literacy here, and it'll be one of the first ones to come up, if not the first one to come up. And so you can scroll down. The biggest thing that they do is these assessments. Like I said, there's 16 areas. You can pick which one or one you want to do, and then kind of go through those. Education, if you go through here, you can kind of learn a little bit more about the curriculum that we get and can help you with. If you want to see an example of it, I believe you can click on this Try NorthStar Curriculum unit. I'm not going to do that because it downloads a file to your computer, but then you can open and kind of see just little worksheets of about 10 different topics that they kind of help you with. And then also, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, here is a free resource, web resources, or no, I'm so sorry. It's the ctep.weebly.com. If you click on this link, it'll just take you to some basic information. I believe most of it is kind of like a glossary of terms, tech-related terms that you may need or may need in your general daily life or to take these assessments. So you just click on that link there, and it'll take you right there. But I will take you back to assessments here, and we can kind of look through a lot of the options. Okay. So if you do this at one of our locations or a different NorthStar location, it should automatically be able to tell that you're at a location, and all of that information will go to that organization. It's like if you come into Benj and I are at the Blasco Library. If you come into that in Erie, it'll automatically know that you're there, and we'll be able to see your scores. But so essential computer skills, essential software skills, and using technology in daily life, we already talked about that. I'll just go ahead and click here on basic computer skills. Takes you to this tab. That's just a test to make sure your speakers are working. I'm going to go ahead and skip away, and I'm not going to take the whole test, but I'll just show you kind of what it's about.
Click on the desktop computer.
So it's telling me to click on the desktop computer. We'll just go ahead and click this one.
Click on the laptop computer.
Click on the laptop. And it's just kind of things like this. And as you
Click on the
get
touch
into
screen
it,
in the picture.
as you get into it, it gets more into like the apps and things like that. And it'll tell you, like, depending on the test that you pick, it could tell you, to click on certain softwares or click on like, how would you save this file, or things like that. And if it's anything that you struggle with, it makes note of it. It tells us at the end, and we're able to see here in reports, this is what it would look like for us. We're able to see how you did, how many times you've taken the test, what your best score was, what are some of the things you struggled with, and then we are able to help you build kind of a practice plan or a learning plan, and kind of build those skills up so that you are better at it. And this can be for, older adults that are just trying to build up their computer skills. This can be for people that are looking to, get a job that requires some technology skills. That is a pretty big thing right now. The vast majority of jobs that you will be looking at require some level of technology ability. So NorthStar is definitely, that's one of the main reasons that it exists, is to help people with that. And if, like I said, you come in, you take the test, you tell us what you want to work on, we look at your score, we see what you need to work on, and we'll kind of build a plan with you on how to get better at those skills. I'm going to click on this Build Your Skills tab here. So it says ways to build your skills. Find a NorthStar location. If you click this, you can type in your zip code, and it'll tell you exactly what's around you. It'll tell you if they offer assessments, computer classes, and anything like that. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of locations. Specifically, both of our locations are in Pennsylvania. We have one in Ambridge and one in Erie. But wherever you are probably able to find a location at least kind of close to you. I'm going to go back here. So these are some of the free units that you can access: basic computer skills, email, Word, career search skills. That'll just kind of help you with some of these basic.
The lessons in this topic present a lot of information.
So it's talking to me. But as you can see, you can kind of click through and it'll be a digital lesson for you. It kind of walks you through, and it's very guided, very easy. They have video tutorials here that are kind of digital skill building, regardless, like I said, whether you're an older adult or a young person, just trying to build up your digital skills. And then they also will have a list of other resources that they've put together for you here that are external resources. But yeah, so that is generally the basics of NorthStar. I can go through and let me get back to the home page here, and we can kind of look at another assessment. We'll look at, let's do using Mac OS, because we have a lot of people come in that need help with their, Apple computers. We also have people who use computers. Stick with Apple for now. So Mac OS, number of questions, 26. Again, I won't take the whole thing, but just to kind of show you what it looks like. Which of these is an operating system? So Mac OS, the OS stands for operating system. That just means kind of what your computer runs, what keeps it going. The Windows would be a Windows OS. But since we're doing the Mac, select the picture of the computer. So this one's kind of tricky. This is what a Windows computer would look like. But if you're using a Mac, this is what your desktop would look like before you open any of the programs or browsers or anything like that. Also, I just realized, I'm so sorry, I have not been sharing this window for a minute here. But this is what I'm talking about here. Sorry about that. This is the Windows desktop. This is an Apple's desktop. It's going to ask you to click on which is the Mac operating system, and it'll be this one.
Click on the dock.
So this is one of the more common questions that you can get in one of these assessments is, find a certain part of the screen. So it'll say click on the dock. It'll have whatever you're hovering over highlighted. So it looks like you got about 3 options here. This up here, the desktop screen, or this is the dock down here.
Click on the menu bar.
So again, same screen, 3 options. This one will be the menu bar. It's got the menu.
Click on the desktop.
And then the desktop.
Open Notes.
So another one that it'll have you do is kind of open a certain program. You can look through here. Same with on your actual computer. If you hover your mouse over it, it'll kind of tell you what each of these programs is. And to open it, you'll just double click.
Maximize the notes
and
window.
It'll pull up its example of what that would look like. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of this. Show this that instead. So again, that's just kind of what they would look like. There's 16 different assessments, all different kinds, social media, software, computer skills. And they're kind of always adding more to them. Or if there's anything that you want to work on that we don't have here, you can just let us know and we'll kind of work through it with you. But yeah, so that's kind of the basics of the NorthStar Digital Literacy. If you want to work on anything with that, absolutely come into our locations. I'll go through those here. We're at Beaver County, Laughlin Memorial Library in Ambridge, Mondays and Wednesdays, 12 to 4. B.F. Jones Memorial Library in Aliquippa, Thursdays, 12 to 4. And then Benj and I are in Erie County. We are at the Blasco Library. These hours are actually out of date, but we are there Wednesdays and Thursdays, 2 to 6 p.m. And if you want to schedule an appointment with us, you can just go to this website, tactileelevate.org, or call this phone number, and they'll help you kind of get set up with an appointment. But again, if you want to look into it yourself, you just kind of Google NorthStar Digital Literacy, click on the first link, you can walk through it yourself and see if that's something you'd be interested in.
Yeah, thank you all for attending. I think this is a great webinar from Brandon. Hopefully you guys learned a lot about kind of the basics of NorthStar so that you can get into it, kind of create those accounts and start learning. Hopefully, whether it's us or anyone really, what's important is that we're just, hoping to increase everybody's digital skills. So if that's something that we can help you with through NorthStar, that'd be great. If we can help you other ways, like Brandon said, definitely feel free to contact us. We love to, kind of just talk through with what you might need help with, so we can definitely start to build a plan with that. But we're glad that you were able to attend this webinar. Again, we'll be doing these every Thursday for a while, and you can find these all on our YouTube. But thank you again for attending, and have a great day.